Hello Targar friends, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for another Orc Mode workout, and today was Dynamic Effort Bench Day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated, and as you guys have noticed over the last couple days since that incident yesterday, which I don't know why anyone is still attaching my name to it, all those people are still coming in and hitting dislikes. It's not the normal people at this point. So if you could offset that, it would be appreciated. But speed bench today, once I kind of threw the footage on here, I realized I did 7 sets. I thought I did 8. We lose count sometimes when we do speed work. I have a bad habit of sometimes doing extra sets. On the benching, I didn't. I haven't really looked at this yet, so I'm going to assess the speed while I'm watching. I felt like it could have been faster. And I'm working off percentages again right now, so I dropped the bands down to just 80. Those bands just felt really tight going against those lockouts. Like I would have liked more speed. And the other thing I'm doing, you guys notice I dropped the going up on the balls of the feet. I'm going flat-footed again. Been experimenting back and forth. And in theory, you know, I should be stronger because I can get a little more arch the other way. But I just feel, I don't know, more stable. And I feel like I get just more stability and more power, right? Just in general with the flat foot. And at this point, probably the minimal amount of range of motion change doesn't help me because, again, I'm doing close grip, realizing that it's better for my shoulders. I'm stronger at it no matter what. And rather than worry about, hey, can I trim ranges of motion down, I'm just going to get as strong as I can, and I'm going to do a ton of tricep work, which is kind of the theme of this. Like I told you guys the other day, I've been going back looking at my old footage for the 6 weeks before I first hit that 352 close grip, right before I had the shoulder problem. All right. I was doing a lot of those JM presses the way that I used to do them before everyone dogged on me and said that's not a true JM press. So I don't know. I guess I need to rename the JM press the way a lot of powerlifters do it. I guess we can start calling it after me. We can name it after me. Since people don't want me saying it's a JM press, I don't know. You could call it an orc press. But again, I'm going to do those on the floor today because looking back, I was doing floor presses, and particularly the last couple of weeks before I hit that first 352 close grip, I was doing some close grip floor pressing and doing rep work with 275 on it. I was doing floor JM presses and moving bigger, pretty big weights. I was moving even bigger weights later when I got to the 352 again after my shoulder was somewhat healed and then it got re-inflamed. Right? I was doing a lot of overhead pressing, and I was messing with some of the floor skull crushers, and I may work those in. I messed with the ones on the bench today, but I didn't notice on the last set my left shoulder didn't quite like it. It just was making a little crackly, uncomfortable, which doesn't hurt now. So I may go over to the floor skull crushers again. It seemed like that's the stuff that really built my triceps, right? And even overhead pressing. It looked like the whole month before I did that I was doing axle bar overhead. So I'm going to do a lot of the same things, including all the speed benching. God, that speed bench set looked really slow right there. All right, I got to work on that. All right, I've got to work on getting that speed back up. But I think what I'm going to do is one more week of this, and I'm going to run through an all chain wave on everything. So I'm going to switch all my speed work over to chains and see if it's different. It might be the way I have the bands hooked up there might be a little bit tight. But triceps are going to be big name of the game, triceps and shoulders. But I mean, most of my delt work is going to be handled by overhead pressing and incline. I'm doing laterals and things just to work the other parts, just to bring all of that up. Because again, I'm already cutting. Oh, by the way, I'm down to 220 this morning. So we're 21 pounds into this cut, another 20 to go. I've already decided I'm going to go all the way down to 200. Already past the halfway point. Not a big deal. And I'm feeling good about it. And I actually take diet breaks completely. So a lot of people are like, oh, you eat so bro, all of this, that's just ridiculous for whatever my body fat is. I'm like, but I enjoy eating that way. And then when I take a cheat week on my deloads, I eat other stuff. All right, I usually gain a little weight, but I've still lost 21 pounds doing that. I've done 2 of those. I've done 2 of those since I've started cutting. So I basically had 10 cheat days because it's like 5 days each time. I've had 10 cheat days. Lost 21 pounds. It's because my calories are so low compared to my energy turnover that it doesn't matter if I regain a little weight during those weeks. Like right now, I'm eating 2,500 calories a day. That is ludicrously low. I was on 5,000 when I was at 240. But I like eating this way. Small PR though on the pull-ups. I added 2.5 pounds. Incline, and like some of these other movements, I'm going to start doing a bit more tens again. I'm going to keep, I think, a lot of the pull-ups, chin-ups, some of the single leg work, floor presses, all that stuff. I'm going to still do sixes. I'm going to start incorporating more tens again though. Again, just easier to recover from at a certain point. If I'm doing too much stuff, sometimes the heavy stuff just really beats me up. And I've noticed that a little bit with the inclines. It's like I feel really fatigued after doing them. So I just run some calculations in and say, okay, if I can do fives with this weight, what should I be able to do tens with? So that's what I did. I went over and dropped it down to 175. I got 2 by 10, and then I could only squeeze out about 8 on the third set. So I pretty much nailed the calculation there. But again, closed grip incline with a pause. Okay. So again, look at how long my arms are. And this is intentional. I want this lift to force me to build a lot of muscle. I want to have to pause on it, and I want to have to drive through that really long range of motion after that deep stretch on the chest. Have a tremendous amount of upper chest and really whole chest development in front delt for me. So again, make me a lot stronger at the overhead press, and it should carry over to all my closed grip benching. Because again, the closed grip bench is going to be my bench. I've already realized no matter what I do, my shoulders are healthier and better if I close grip. I'm stronger on closed grip. And when I take it away and go to wide grip, I end up just losing strength every time I do it. So we're just going to do what we know builds a closed grip. Get back on track to where I was when I was excelling and hitting PR after PR, got it over 350. We'll get it back there again and push past it. So I'm going to hit 375 this year on a closed grip. I have 6 months left. I've still got quite a bit of cutting. I predict I'll probably have to cut another 3 to 4 months to drop the last 20 pounds, and then I'll be able to bulk back up to 210. And that's what I'll probably do, bulk and cut between 200 and 210, back and forth, back and forth. But I think once we get there, I think we're gonna see it climb pretty good. It's gonna climb pretty good. But again, it's gonna be a lot of delt and a lot of tricep. Chin-ups, I went up just a little bit. I did 35 on here and realized, you know what, this is not my 6 rep max. So I stopped at 6 reps, put another 10 pounds on, and went up to a 45 again. So chin-up strength is coming back pretty good, considering I weigh 220. You know, so I get a lot of guys out there who are like, well, I weigh 180, I do more than, well, 40 pounds lighter. So you're doing 90 pounds for sets of 6 if you're stronger, right? But, you know, as I get down to 200, I'll be able to have that advantage of the lighter body weight too. But I'm getting stronger on these faster than I'm losing body weight. So we're in a good position because I got the 2 sets of 6. And I think the extra bicep work is helping because my biceps were stronger today when I got to the curls. Those PR'd also. So I think the extra bicep work is helping my chin-ups a lot. And if we can get rid of that weak link, and we can keep getting stronger at chin-ups, my pull-ups will keep going up, my back will get bigger. It will carry over to my deadlift. I noticed it when I was strongest on chin-ups before is when I first started getting deadlifts over 600 pounds, right? There was a definite correlation there for me. And it probably has to do with the fact that I have short legs and a long torso. It means back affects my deadlift more. A guy with a shorter torso and longer legs, long femored guys, man, hamstrings. Hamstrings and glutes pretty much make or break their deadlift. I have hamstrings and glutes. Mine are stupidly strong from all the work I do on them, which you guys can see that those lifts. So it's getting the rest of that back up to par. Same thing with the press today. I dropped down. I looked at, hey, here's what I got last time doing 6s, and I needed to move it up a little bit. So I'm like, let's drop down and do 10s. And again, everything paused. So, and I'll work up from here. I'll see if I can build up 10s on the incline and the overhead press and just try to build that whole upper chest, front delt, and then whatever tricep it'll give me. Although it's not going to give me much because I'm doing so much other tricep work. But I got that, so I went and dropped down to 115, and we got 3 sets of 10. Now let's set a goal here. When I was at my strongest, I could do 12 with 135. I was strongest at my close grip before. So we're going to get back to, say, 3 sets of 10 with 135. It's a good short-term goal. And I don't think it's unreasonable because these felt good. I felt like I had at least a rep in reserve on every set. And again, I like this closer grip. I know my lockout's not as good on it because of the way my shoulders are built, that it struggles to get into that position. I mean, if I laid really far back, my elbows would lock at the top, but it would be basically an incline if I did that. It's because I'm trying to push it overhead is the problem. So just get what I can, try to pause at the bottom and just explode through as hard as I can. I do like the closer grip. I feel tighter. I feel like I get more tricep helping fire out of the bottom. I feel just more tight, more secure. It feels easy on my shoulders. So I'm going to stick with a true close grip on it. And yeah, it's true close grip. If you guys notice, my edge of my finger is touching the smooths, just like I do on a close grip bench. So it again is close grip. Snatch grip rows, I filmed them from the front angle today. I don't know what these look like yet. I went up 5 pounds. Started messing with these again the other day. I did 175 or 3x10. Went up to 180. I think I picked up an extra rep on the last set. So again, I can increase the weight again on these. I'm trying to keep these super strict, and that's going to be the whole idea. I'm not going to cheat on these. I'm going to again stick with that wide grip and keep them super, super strict. Super strict. And again, this is just, again, a little more work for the lats, but again, getting upper back in there. Now, this is not all I do for upper back. The laterals help, but I'm also doing, on my off days, I'm messing with band pull-aparts to make sure my rear delts get a little extra work. But I don't like to rely on bands, right? We really need some big free weight movements to help with any muscle. And my rear delts do need extra work for my shoulder health, balance, everything else, especially because I'm pushing the front delts so hard, and my rear delts are definitely smaller than my front. I think you can tell when you guys see me from behind. I have all that lat, and notice not quite that capped delt from behind. Okay, we know that's an area that needs work, but I'm doing the band pull-aparts for pretty high volume, hopefully to help bring that up a little bit on the off days. But I do need some other work to hit it. Now, we could argue pull-ups and chin-ups do hit it, but not like rows, not even close. So I need this stuff in here. And I'm basically doing this for upper back, even though it does hit lats and everything else. All right, I went back to the type of JM presses I was doing before. You know what? They felt good on my triceps. Doing them on the floor like this. I don't care if my elbows drop. I'm just trying to tuck and then drive up. And you know what? Felt great on my triceps. Felt great on my shoulders. The only problem with doing this is that some people, this hurts their elbows to do it this way, or it hurts their shoulder joints. It doesn't for me, right? It's not doing that. So I'm just going to continue to do them and just focus on getting to big weights. That first set was too light, so I put another 10 on, went up to 105. I'm a lot stronger at this than I was messing with the other way, which the other way is turning into just almost a skull crusher. There's a certain point, and I like J.M. Blakely, but the way that he does really teach it, we're pretty much almost a skull crusher. It's not even close to a hybrid between a skull crusher and a close grip bench. This is a hybrid. This is a hybrid between a skull crusher and, say, a close grip floor press. Right? It's exactly what it is. And it felt good. And like I said, I might throw in the floor skull crushers too, because those just destroyed my triceps. And there was a study, and I can't find the study again. I could probably find it if I looked a little closer. I wanted to relook at it for my own benefit, and I do know where I can find it. I did remember a place where I can find it. That actually showed the one on the floor had more hypertrophy in at least one study. And it has to do with just the nature of the tricep. It likes that position. Because I did them on the bench today, and they felt great in my triceps, but my shoulder didn't really like it, and come down to that point of, as long as the triceps get bigger, does it matter? Same thing with that thing I'm doing on the floor there with the JM press, right? It made my triceps bigger and stronger before. It worked a hell of a lot better than this other thing I'm doing, and I've been trying to do it like J.M. Blakely says, but here's the thing. If you're doing something and it's not working, you shouldn't keep doing it, and it's clearly not working for me, right? If anything, my triceps feel smaller and weaker having done it. We know that works. We know the close grip, the floor presses on the skull crusher. I can't talk today, guys. I give up. The floor skull crushers destroy triceps, and I have used them in the past. I prescribe them to some clients. All right, the curls, I realized I could do 7 reps on those. I'm like, this last set, let me just try to get up as many reps as I can. And I got to 10. So I need to just try to start doing 10s with this weight and then maybe increase the weight. And I'm doing these again almost as a drag curl, right? As you guys see, I'm pulling the elbows back so that the elbow is moving through its entire range of motion. It is locking at the bottom, and then it's fully peak contracted as I get up there. I'm trying to just keep the bicep in this. I'm not trying to do a lot of other stuff. I'm trying to keep the front delt and shoulder joint out of the movement. Again, for shoulder health purposes, and to, again, have peak contraction strength, which will carry over best to the chin up. And then I did these laying extensions. And again, yes, this is going behind my head, so it's not a skull crusher. I hit the long head a little harder. And like I said, these felt good today. I bumped it up. I did them a little light last time. 10s were challenging today when I put another 20 pounds on, right? 10s were challenging. And I like this lift, but again, it feels a little awkward in my shoulder, a little discomfort there, whereas in the JM press didn't. And I know the floor one works. So next time I may do them off the floor. So I might just do the JM press and the skull crusher both on the floor and just double up. All right, and you can move a lot of weight. I noticed I was stronger on these off the floor, even though you have to come from that dead stop. But man, that dead stop just lights the tricep up. When you just go to break it off the floor, it just contracts super hard. And it's probably because it seems like some of the research has showed that that position where you're breaking off the floor is one of the most important joint angles for overall hypertrophy in the tricep. So because you're having to explode from a dead stop there, even though it's technically a partial, it works really, really, really well. Because it seems to be one of the exceptions to the rule. That's been noted in research on range of motion. There are a few exercises that shorter range of motion does seem to produce better hypertrophy in studies. Because the majority, it doesn't. So it's interesting when you find those tidbits. And then after that, I finished off with, again, all my little peripheral stuff, which you guys know what that is. It's reverse curls and then laterals, right? I'm just doing laterals to finish off the delts. I'm doing the reverse curls, beef up my forearms, brachioradialis. Again, those things will help me with my bench. And again, this will help with my pull-ups, because arms always seem to be a limit for me on a lot of the stuff I do. All right, same thing. You guys notice I'm trying to keep the elbows back. Similar to the drag curl, I'm trying to tuck them the best that I can, so that, again, we're not cheating and bringing too many other muscles in, because I already do enough of that on everything else. These are just a couple of little finesse movements. I think I ended up getting an 11th rep on the 3rd set, so that's progress. Right, I might be able to micro load this up, because this is like several workouts in a row with the same weight. And it's hard. The 65 pounds is hard. It's hard on these, especially when you have long arms like I do. It's tough. But again, we do need to get progressively stronger. So I might try to put a microplate on there. See if we can go up 2.5 pounds. See if we can do that next time. I have a feeling I will probably be able to. I don't know if I'll get all 30 reps. Again, we'll find out. But it needs to be tried. So again, this is the last set. And like I said, I think if I recall, I got 11. I got 11, and then we'll finish up with the laterals for side delts. And again, I don't know that the laterals are really going to improve my strength. I will admit I'm doing it purely because it will probably make my shoulders more capped as I get leaner. It will probably help me grow my channel and make more money. Let's be honest. Especially if I keep cutting. I cut another 20 pounds of fat and then bulk and cut back and forth from there. Bring up certain muscles, bring up my triceps more, bring up my side delts. It won't hurt my income at all. Or my outreach. So, again, there's nothing really lost here because these don't beat me up. And again, we could argue, though, the extra delt work here may carry over to my benching, right? The bigger and stronger we get our delts, the better we are at benching, particularly if we're going to be a closer grip bencher. It matters. It matters. But again, it helps build that whole shoulder girdle up. And it's an exercise that's very easy to recover from. I took like 60 seconds between these, right? These last two exercises are just really short breaks because I don't care, maybe about a minute. Everything else is long breaks. And they're easy to just squeeze in at the end. And, you know, they have a lot of potential benefit. But I feel pretty good after today's workout. I don't actually feel beat up or anything. I feel pretty good, all things considered, in spite of the calorie deficit. I slept a ton, like I probably close to 10 hours last night. That probably helps. Woke up again lighter, down at 220. So the scale's continuing to go down. Training's going good. Going to keep doing what I'm doing. And then, you'll have the last set here. And I don't really have much else to say today. I'm happy with the workout today. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.